This morning we are continuing our look at the fruit of the Holy Spirit and how they come into in our walk with God. And so we are a little over halfway through the fruit of the Holy Spirit as they are listed in Galatians 5:22 verses 23. We have seen and we have examined the fruit of joy, the fruit of love, the fruit of peace, the fruit of patience, the fruit of kindness. And so now we turn our attention to the next fruit of the Spirit, which is also the sixth fruit of the Spirit that is mentioned by Paul, and that is the fruit of goodness. For the fruit of goodness, we'll turn in our Bibles to the letter to the church in Ephesus, Ephesians 5:8-17. I know in your bulletin it says Romans 11:22-24. That's a mistake on my part. But it's actually Ephesians 5:8-17 is where we'll be looking at. And Paul writes this to the church in Ephesus. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Live as children of light, for the fruit of light consists in all goodness, righteousness, and truth. And find out what pleases the Lord. Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. It is shameful even to mention what the disobedient do in secret. But everything exposed by the light becomes visible, and everything that is illuminated becomes a light. This is why it is said, "Wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Therefore do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. May the Lord bless the reading of his holy word. The Apostle Paul informs us that we are to be children of light, because when we are children of light, we are walking in the light of the Lord, and as a result of walking in the light, we will have the fruit of life form within us and be a reflection of that light. And as a sign that the fruit of life is within us, we see that the fruit of life comes about through goodness, righteousness, and truth. So we are also to do what pleases the Lord and not take part in the unfruitful works of darkness. And so Paul is admonishing us to do good and not partake in the acts of wickedness or evil, but to remain in the light. And we think of goodness as doing good and by acting virtuously through helping others. And so we see goodness as trying to make a helpful contribution to a situation to help benefit another person or others. But we have come to understand that goodness is also a state or quality of being good. We see it as being the best part of anything. We see it used to generally characterize any time we recognize the quality of conduct. That is what goodness has become for us. We use goodness as something which is conforming to a moral value of the world. That is, that goodness is only determined by the world. And what the act is, whether we determine it to be good or evil, is all based on the agreed upon moral value of what the world says it is. But the fruit of goodness is more than just being good for the sake of being good or doing good things all the time. We think that being good means we do good things more than we do the bad things. That we are able and capable of making good choices and good actions at times when we are required to act in a way that benefits others, to do good things, to show goodness to those around us. However, there's kind of a problem with that. Sometimes we don't always choose to do the good things. We always don't choose to show goodness to others around us. We are constantly choosing to do things which will make us look good, feel good, for you or for the others. And so our understanding of goodness is all based on the eye of the beholder of one who's doing the goodness, or the one who is doing the good will or act. I'm doing this because it is good. But the problem is we may see it as good, but the others may see it as bad or a poor act. So we like to think that we are capable of doing good, that we are capable of showing goodness to others, that we have the strength to choose goodness and to show it to others. But this is not what Paul is really describing when he's saying that you should have the fruit of goodness be present in our lives. The fruit of goodness is goodness which seeks after the things of God and wants to do good for others because of God. And we must first understand something Paul makes very clear when we have to describe the fruit of goodness in our lives. When we think of goodness, we believe everyone has the capacity to do good things for others. The idea has become, if I want goodness in my life, then I must do good things for others. And by doing these good things for others, I become a good person. The idea behind this is if I choose to be inherently good at my core, then I will be a good person and be seen as a person who radiates goodness to others. And this has become a common belief in our culture by paying it forward. However, when we look at the Greek word for goodness, we find out the root word for goodness is agathos, which means inherently good. That is to say that inherently good is by natural character or ability to do good is already within us. That we have inherent goodness within us, and so we are already good. And for this, to understand why Paul chooses agathos and saying that we are inherently good, you have to go back to when Adam and Eve were created and formed by God in Genesis 1, 27 through 31. After he created everything and he created Adam and Eve, God looked around and he saw everything he created and saw that it was good. And so at the time, humanity's nature at the time of creation was good. Our natural character, our natural ability was good because God placed goodness